To follow up on a few of my colleagues' previous points, when talking about removing tenure, we have to seriously consider some of the consequences that come with once you have removed it. And the major one being the essence of job security and then the ability to have academic freedom. And looking at cases involving teachers here and abroad that do not currently, or that did not at the moment have tenure and then got themselves into controversial subjects, we can have an idea of what a future might look like when you don't have any tenure whatsoever and you're kind of limited in your ability to discuss these controversial issues. For instance, in Canada, at Wilfrid Laurier University, a TA by the name of Lindsay Shepherd was instructed to teach a university class and presented to the class a video involving a controversial subject, or it was a controversial debate between two sides on different sides of an issue regarding LGBT rights. And even though this was a debate that covered both sides, a positive and a negative side, she was reprimanded and nearly fired for even bringing up such a topic. To quote, in a subsequent meeting with university officials, she was accused of creating a toxic and problematic environment that constituted violence against transgendered students. She was also falsely told that she had broken the law. So a TA that did not have tenure, did not have any kind of job security, was threatened even for bringing up a controversial subject. And with no tenure in place, we can see that that might become something that's more prominent. Tenure is also another example of kind of how it provides job security is when you look into LGBT representation in academia. The proportion of gay men among male workers and the proportion of lesbians among female workers is disproportionately high. Most all of them are associated with above average social perceptiveness and above average task independence. That is Colleen Flattery on a Inside Higher Ed article discussing the high representation that we find of the LGBT community in academia. And without tenure, there are still grounds districts might have the ability to fire these individuals simply for the fact that they are LGBT, and that is just another protection that tenure provides that is quite integral. Another aspect to job security is the fact that protecting teacher freedom motivates them to teach better, in opposition of what the affirmative has said, that protecting their teacher causes them to slump in their research and their teaching abilities. A study of key factors in working engagement and job motivation of teaching faculty at a university medical center. The five most motivating aspects for teachers was teaching about my own speciality, noticeable appreciation for teaching by my direct superior, teaching small groups, feedback on teaching performance, and freedom to determine what I teach. The freedom to discuss potentially controversial issues, which is something that's protected by tenure, is one of the key driving factors in keeping teachers, keeping their quality high. And is one of just a few key reasons that people are encouraged to enter the field of teaching. And one last point I would like to make in opposition of an earlier point made by the affirmative in regards to the firing of teachers is that they made a statement that firing very rarely happens after 2 years, and it is somewhat inappropriate to place the blame on tenure for this, because critically, as Matthew Chingo says in an article, ending teacher tenure would have little impact on its own. Critically, there is no evidence that principals use the 4-year decision point to cull the pool of teachers. So even with longer spans of probation for tenure, faculty or principals do not use all of that period. It is a very instantaneous decision early on.